The stress hormone cortisol doesn't just come from a bad day at work or a difficult phone call. For many of us, it is released in a slow, steady drip every time we walk into a room in our own homes. There's a silent stressor living with you, one that doesn't argue or make demands, but has a profound impact on your body, from your joints to your blood sugar. It's a low-grade hum of overwhelm, a feeling of being behind that you can't quite name, a fatigue that settles deep in your bones. And it's not because you're getting older. It's because your environment is sending a constant, quiet signal of distress to your brain, and your body is listening. Hello, beautiful women. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and for over 15 years, I've had the privilege of helping women navigate the incredible changes in their bodies with clarity and compassion. My goal here is to give you the science-backed wisdom you need to feel vibrant, strong, and deeply well in this chapter of your life. If that sounds like something you need, I'd be so honored if you'd subscribe and join our growing community. And I would truly love to know who I'm speaking with today. Tell me in the comments. Where are you watching from? It brings me such joy to see where this community of strong women comes together from all around the world. Today we're talking about something that is often dismissed as a simple matter of housekeeping, but is in fact one of the most significant things you can do for your long-term health. We are talking about the clutter in your home and how it directly contributes to chronic inflammation, the hidden fire that can accelerate aging and lead to so many of the health challenges we face after 60. Let's start with the immediate connection, the visual noise in your home and that constant dripping faucet of stress hormones. When you walk into a room filled with piles of paper, unfinished projects, or just too much stuff, your eyes take it all in. But your brain doesn't just see objects. It sees a list of tasks. It sees decisions that haven't been made, projects left undone, and obligations that are weighing on you. This visual chaos overstimulates the part of your brain responsible for focus, and it quietly signals a threat. Things are not in order. Things are not safe. In response, your adrenal glands release cortisol, not in a big rush like when you narrowly avoid a car accident, but in that slow, steady, corrosive drip I mentioned. I think of my patient, Carol. She retired a few years ago, excited to finally have time for her quilting and gardening. But she confessed to me that she felt more exhausted than when she worked full-time. Her sewing room, meant to be a place of joy, was overflowing with fabric, patterns, and half-finished projects. Every time she walked in, she told me she felt a wave of guilt. She didn't feel creative. She felt defeated before she even started. Her body wasn't resting. It was in a constant state of low-grade alert, fueled by the visual evidence of everything she hadn't done. This is the cortisol drip in action. It's a physiological response to a psychological trigger. That constant, low-level cortisol floating through your system is what we in the medical community call chronic stress. And it's a powerful driver of inflammation. The solution for Carol wasn't a new supplement or a different diet. It was a prescription for simplicity. I gave her what I call the one surface rule. I asked her to choose just one surface in that room, a small table, and clear it completely. Her only job was to keep that one surface clear for a week. It was manageable. It broke the cycle of overwhelm. That small island of calm began to spread, giving her the mental energy to tackle the rest of the room, bit by bit. By clearing the visual noise, she turned down the cortisol drip, and for the first time in years, she felt her mind and her body truly begin to rest. You can do this too. You are reclaiming your peace one small space at a time. Now let's connect this stress response to the aches, the brain fog, and the fatigue so many of us experience. This is where we talk about how clutter becomes a hidden fire of inflammation inside your body. Many women I speak with feel a sense of resignation about their health. The stiff joints in the morning, the trouble remembering a name, the heavy feeling of fatigue that never seems to lift. We're often told, it's just part of getting older. But I am here to tell you that while our bodies do change, much of this discomfort is driven by chronic systemic inflammation. And that inflammation can be fueled by your environment. Think of cortisol as your body's firefighter. When you have an injury or an infection, an acute fire, cortisol rushes in, manages the response, and then its levels go back down. But when your body is getting constant stress signals from your cluttered environment, the firefighter is always on duty. The alarm bells are always ringing. Eventually, the system gets exhausted and dysregulated. The firefighter can't do its job properly, and low-level fires of inflammation begin to smolder all over your body. In your joints, in your gut, in your blood vessels, and even in your brain. This is what was happening with another patient of mine, Margaret. She came to see me for persistent knee pain and a deep exhaustion that made her feel years older than her age. Her home was lovely, but it was full to the brim. She had inherited furniture and belongings from both her parents and her in-laws. Every surface, every closet, every corner held the life of someone else. She felt a profound duty to keep it all, but she also felt trapped and heavy. Her physical symptoms were a perfect mirror of her emotional and domestic reality. The science is clear. The chronic cortisol stimulated by her overwhelming environment was fueling the inflammatory fire in her body, making her arthritis more painful and her fatigue more profound. It can also contribute to insulin resistance, making it harder to manage weight and blood sugar. The stress from your surroundings can literally make your body hurt. Our approach wasn't about a massive, ruthless purge. That would just be another source of stress. Instead, we used what I call the compassionate sorting method. I encouraged her to take just one box or one drawer per week. And as she looked at each item, the question wasn't, should I throw this out? It was, does this item support the vibrant, healthy woman I am today? And the one I want to be tomorrow? This reframed the entire process. It wasn't about loss. It was about curating a life that fit her now. As the physical space in her home began to open up, she described a feeling of lightness in her body. Her pain began to subside, and her energy returned. You are not just clearing a room. You are tending to your body's internal health. You are quenching the hidden fire. This brings me to our final and perhaps most important point. Clearing the clutter in your home is about clearing the path to your own vitality and purpose. So many of us reach this stage of life and feel a little lost. The children may be grown, careers may be winding down, and the roles that defined us for so long have shifted. We ask ourselves, what's next for me? And often our homes reflect this uncertainty. They are museums of our past lives, filled with our children's old school projects, clothes that no longer fit our bodies or our lifestyles, and equipment for hobbies we no longer pursue. There is simply no room, physically or energetically, for the new to enter. I remember Susan, a wonderfully talented artist who hadn't painted in a decade. Her former studio had become, in her words, the room of good intentions. It held boxes for her children, furniture she was meaning to sell, and stacks of books she was planning to read. The room was so full of the past and the future that there was no space for the present. Her creative energy, her very life force, was blocked by the physical reality of her space. She felt stagnant, and her environment was a constant, suffocating reminder of that feeling. There is a psychological concept called environmental press, which simply means that our surroundings signal to us what we should be doing or how we should be feeling. A cluttered space signals chaos, obligation, and unfinished business, keeps our brains in a reactive, problem-solving mode. An open, clear space signals peace, possibility, and rest. It allows our brains to switch off the constant chatter and enter a more creative, reflective state. When your mind isn't subconsciously cataloging every object in a room, it has the freedom to dream, to wonder, and to connect with your deeper self. The solution for Susan was incredibly simple. I asked her to create one tiny sanctuary. We called it the empty chair technique. She cleared one small corner of her living room. She removed everything: a side table, a lamp, a stack of magazines. In that corner, she placed one single, comfortable armchair and nothing else. This was her designated space for non-doing. Not for reading, not for knitting, but for simply sitting with a cup of tea for 5 minutes a day and breathing. By creating a physical void, she created an energetic one. A space of pure potential. Within a month, she had cleared her old studio and was painting again, with more joy and freedom than she'd felt in years. You can do this. You are creating the physical space necessary for the next beautiful chapter of your life to unfold. Please hear me when I say this. This is not about shame. This is not about having a perfect home. This is about recognizing that your environment is a powerful tool for your health. Your home should be the safest place in the world for your nervous system. It should be your sanctuary, your place of rest and restoration. It is the one place where you have the power to control the signals your body receives. This isn't just another chore on your list. It is a profound act of self-care. It is medicine. Treating your home as a sacred space for your well-being is one of the most loving things you can do for your body and your soul. Your health is worthy of a peaceful environment. You are worthy of a life that feels calm, clear, and full of possibility. If this conversation resonated with you today, I invite you to share one small, gentle change you're inspired to make in the comments below. Perhaps it's clearing one countertop or sorting through one drawer. We are a community of support, and your story and your intentions matter so much. Take gentle, loving care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video.